It's a big week, boys, and a bunch of releases just dropped yesterday as Blizzard giving us the official release date and a few other important dates for 12.1. So we'll kind of get into the timeline of how that seasonal release is going to work and a few other things going on with patches, updates, and stuff like that. So here we go. Reset was yesterday, and what does that mean? Turbulent timeways. Week 5 is here. That means everybody who enjoyed Burning Crusade, well, you're going to enjoy this week a lot. We got a full week of Turbulent Timeways, TBC stuff going down. So, yeah, run through all these different dungeons here. You got the Blood Furnace, Botanica, Magistr's Terrace, Mana Tomb, the Underbog, Shattered Halls, and Black Temple. Grudge, thank you for the sub on YouTube. I appreciate that, man. Obviously, different rewards to be had here, too. So, a few of these Burning Crusade-inspired rewards. 2 different mounts that you'll be able to get. The Reigns of the Eclipse Dragonhawk and the Reigns of the Amani Hunting Bear. So, if you want those mounts, go ahead and spend some of your Turbulent Timeways currencies and get that stuff in. I always forget what they're called, man. The Time Warp badges, that's right. Also, big news that dropped yesterday, and yes, this was big news indeed, but not really news for anybody who watches me, because I've been predicting this for quite a while, but 12.1, Curse of Ulutech launch release dates and everything else. August 11th is the official launch of 12.1, August 18th, the official launch of Season 2, and a few other important dates are going to happen after that. So let's get into what's dropping with the release, what's dropping with Season 2, and then what's dropping beyond that. So first of all, steel your resolve and gather your allies and descend into darkness in Midnight Season 2. The Brave Venomous Abyss. Conquer new Mythic Plus rotations. Prove your mettle in PvP if you can handle the queues. And then delve deeper into dangerous rewards. Stalk deadly prey across the Coiled Isle and face down world bosses in layers and so much more. So August 11th. What are we going to get on that date? Well, first of all, we're going to get our first layer, which is the new version of world bosses, the kind of instanced version of world bosses that we're going to see. If you want to think about how they're going to be, they're kind of like the Sporefall raid. I don't think the mechanics maybe are going to be to the level of what Sporefall was, but they're essentially a one-boss raid now. Now, the first thing we're going to get on August 11th is just the world difficulty. There will be new difficulty versions of these bosses. Obviously, the higher the difficulty, the better the gear you get. But first of all, we're going to get the world difficulty, which will be the easiest version of this layer boss. The other difficulties will unlock later down the line, and I'll tell you what date those are going to unlock. We also get the new dungeon, Altar of Fangs, entering the rotation for your Midnight Season. And then Midnight Dungeons, Heroic and Mythic 0 difficulties are going to be unlocked on that first week. So that week, everybody will, if you really want to push your eye level as hard as you can, Mythic 0 difficulties are going to give you 292 gear. Also, Blizzard did release a little blurb here saying that, yes, it turns out Mythic Zeros will become available right that first week. They will be on a weekly lockout that first week, so you can only run each one once on Mythic 0. But they will also contribute to the first vault. That's right, the first Great Vault. They will count towards your Great Vault, so that next week the Great Vault opens up. It will be based on if you completed those Mythic Zeros or not, so that's going to be an important thing to do next week. But also, the unlock happening later on for Mythic Zeros will happen in August 18th. So again, these will be on a weekly reset. You can only do each one once, giving you 292 item level gear and unlocking in your vault. Fresh dungeon rotation. As I mentioned before, all new dungeons. We got Altar of Fangs opening up. This will be the first time we can do this one. Then we got also Murderer's Road, Den of Nalarak, The Blinding Veil, Void Scar Arena, King's Rest, Temple of Sothralis, and Ruby Light Pools. There's a few changes happening in these dungeons that I'll get into here in a second. More changes dropped just yesterday, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Prey Season 2, normal and hard mode difficulties will open on August 11th, and then we have Season 2 delves, all tiers but no bountiful delves for that first week, and then Training Grounds, arenas opening up, and then credit towards your Great Vault, as I mentioned before, begins that week. So August 11th, you will start being able to gather stuff up for your first Great Vault opening up. And then week 18th, the real week where everything kicks off. This is like the full-fledged Season 2 begins. We have the new Venomous Abyss raid opening up on normal, heroic, mythic, and raid finder wing 1 difficulties. Then we have Mythic Season 2 for Mythic Plus, so yes, doing all the keys and everything else, you'll be able to do that. Mythic Zeros will switch to a daily reset, so giving you 292 gear at a daily rate instead of weekly like the first week. PvP Season 2 finally kicks off. Delve Season 2 will now have Bountiful, and you'll be able to get coffer keys. Prey Season 2 kicks off with Nightmare Mode and Curse of the Isles. And then Great Vault Season 2 gear becomes available. And then you have your layer, as I said, for the new World Boss difficulty. Finally, normal, heroic, and mythic flex scaling difficulty. As I said, it kind of works like Sporefall. That's how this is going to be, but that will open up on August 18th. So for the first week, we just get a world difficulty version of him. Second week, a week of August 18th, we get all the other difficulties and mythic scaling difficulties. So these are going to be interesting. We'll see how this whole new take on world bosses works. August 25th, you'll get Raid Finder Wing 2 and Story Mode opening up for the Venomous Abyss raid. And then week of September 1st, Raid Finder Wing 3. Week of September 8th, Wade Finder. Yeah, we got to get the Wade Finder, guys. Raid Finder Wing 4 will open up. So that's kind of your full timeline of how this entire patch release is going to work. Let's get into some of the other things that we got from the patch notes here. So first of all, when it comes to Mythic Plus Season 2 dungeons, as I mentioned before, you're only getting Mythic Zeros on a weekly lockout on August 11th, and then Season 2 really starts on August 18th. All the dungeons that will be available, we talked about them here, so these will be part of our rotation. As you get keys and everything, you'll be going through these and leveling them up, especially starting on the week of August 18th. Your key will finally be available to push past Mythic Zero. As for Mythic Plus, I should say, the achievements, we already know. Breath of the Blight will be given to you here on the left when you get a 2,000 rating, and then at the 3,000 rating, you can get yourself the red version of that same mount. So some good-looking mounts. These are your what's it called, Midnight Keystone Master and Keystone Legend mounts for this season. Also, for Conqueror, yes, that's right, for Keystone, I should say Venomous Champion Midnight Season 2 Feat of Strength. You end Midnight Season 2 in a top run percent. This is going to continue on. And then your top 0.1%, you get the Venomous Hero Midnight Season 2. You get the Venomous Hero title for this one. So, do your Mythic Pluses, get your shit done. Obviously, the 0.1% and top 1%, there's a long way to go for that one. We don't even know who they are this season yet, so we'll see. That should be ending very soon. Obviously, with the announcement of August 11th of that being the official launch of of the 12.1 patch, that means your 0.1% and 1% for the first season will officially lock in as well. So we'll see how that all looks. I can tell you, it's not Samiccus. Oh, we'll see. If I 0.1%, I mean, I could easily do that if I wanted to. But as a man of the people, I don't like to take away from the people. And if I'm 0.1%, then somebody else isn't. So that makes me sad. So I'll leave it for the rest of you guys. Anyways, moving on. Raid of the Venomous Abyss and Glory Rewards. We talked about how all of this is going to work basically from August 18th through September 8th. Finally, the final wing of Raid Finder will be opened up. But really, August 18th marks the launch of the raid officially. So all difficulties except the wings of all Raid Finder will be open. You'll be able to get in there and start pushing these bosses down. Obviously, unlocking all new tier set bonuses and everything else will become available for that. Using the Catalyst early on and stuff. Remember, you get extra charges once you get your tier set unlocked. So don't worry about getting the 4 set and using your charges early. You want to get that full 4 set. That way you can actually use more of those Catalyst charges as you move forward. And don't forget, Catalyst charges for this season will include specific stats and cantrip items and stuff as well. So when you convert something to tier gear, it'll carry over the stats and everything from that piece of gear. So converting over things to tier gear will be much more strategic in this season than it was in previous seasons. You got all your feats of strength and everything else. Obviously, all new housing decor and stuff like that. Killing the boss on Mythic difficulty will drop the Prime Evil Sky Fiend. This is the new mount for Mythic difficulty kills. So, yeah, two-headed snaky boy. Not bad looking at all. So, moving forward, Mythic, Olitech, and everything else, like I said, all of that will open up on August 18th and be available for people to start progging. You'll also see Race to World First begin on that date as well. Fortune favors the Fearless PvP Season 2. That's right. So, August 11th, Training Grounds and Arenas, and then August 18th, the official start of the PvP season. You got yourself your big boy Gladiator mount. Man, this thing looks badass as hell. Why does this picture look so HD? Obviously, the Gladiator mount's always freaking glorious, and it's deservedly so. I mean, getting Gladiator, it's a difficult achievement, and I haven't done it since Cataclysm. So, yeah, it's impressive for those people who do actually get it. You also see here your Vicious Light Bloom Boar mounts. These are the mounts that you'll be getting. All the achievements that come with this, Gladiator and everything else, you can see here. Obviously, finishing top 50, winning 50 matches, finishing top 0.1%, top 0.5%. All the achievements just move on from the previous season. So that's how that's all going to work. Wait, you have the Cataglad mount? Of course I do. Go check my inventory. Descend into the depths of madness on delves. We have August 11th, all tiers, no bountiful delves, and then August 18th, bountiful delves with keys. So yes, you get the Ring of Glory delve, the Gnarled Isle, and then the Venomous Depths Venom Fall Deeps Nemesis delve boss. So killing the delve boss this time around and getting the achievement for being one of the first ones, that is now a week-long thing rather than the first 100 people. So if you want to get the achievement, kill this boss in the first week of this patch going live, which again won't be the venomous boss. I believe this guy won't be available until August 18th, if I'm right. I mean, you got to push your delves up. You got to rank your delves up to even get in here, up to a +10 to be able to get into this thing. So I don't think people will actually have a shot at killing him until that week happens. Isle of Beacon Hunters in Midnight Season 2 Prey system. So yeah, stock new rewards, obviously get new Prey. We have normal and hard mode on August 11th, and then August 18th, Nightmare mode, and then the Curse of Isles. So getting in, doing your Prey stuff, if you're still into the Prey stuff, you can go get that stuff. An update to the track, chock full of rewards, can be unlocked by completing the new Prey, a Slithering Threat quest. Unlocking rewards can be purchased from the Construct of Alia and the Construct of Venor at Astrolord's Sanctum and Silver Moon City. Rewards track progress can be viewed in the Journeys tab in the Adventure Guide. So yes, a whole new tracking system, a whole new track to work down, and the Prey system will become available. So that's great. Battle the world boss in layers. As I mentioned before, this is the first time we're going to have this. These layer bosses are now the replacement for your world boss content. So no more world boss, no more zerging that shit down. And yes, there will be a flexible mythic version of this. 15 to 25 players will be available to kill this thing. I'm not sure what the loot table looks like yet for this. I'd like to know what kind of loot this is going to drop, because obviously that affects whether or not you're going to do it all the time or not. But obviously a mythic version of this is going to give us better loot than, say, just the first week of the patch cycle, which used to be how world bosses worked. Really, it was the first week that you did it, and that was about it. So killing this, Season 2 delivers Brave New Champions, a challenge of the Tidebound Grotto, the brand new world boss, Nimerissa Wavecaller. Similar to delves and layers, layers are found in a specific location with a summoning stone available outside the instance rally. Your allies go in and kill this thing. The challenges of Midnight Season 2 call. But is the risk worth the reward? Steal your resolve, gather your allies, and survive the Curse of Ulatek. So there it is, the incomplete timeline and everything that's dropping with the Curse of Ulatek. Plenty for us to do. As I said before, you'll be working towards your vault, actually, starting on August 11th with those Mythic Zeros. And then a bunch of changes to a bunch of dungeons. We have actually more nerfs to a few of these dungeons here. Ruby Lightpool seeing nerfs to multiple abilities and reductions in damage. Same with Temple of Sothralis. Although we see increased health to a couple of the mobs here, we're also seeing reductions in damage for a bunch of abilities here as well. So, I mean, going through these patch notes, you can see a common theme here. Kind of increased health of some of the mobs, but reductions in damage to the damage from the rest. Altar of Fangs, same thing. Den of Nalarok, we see the same thing happening here. A change up a little bit in how this ability works. Murderer's Row, Void Scar Arena, the Blinding Veil, just a few changes in cast times here, so that's how all that's going to happen. Again, these seasonal dungeons, it looks like Season 2 is going to be decently easy in terms of difficulty. We'll see how it all works out. I know a lot of these dungeons were not people's favorite, but Blizzard has removed a lot of the RP. They've gotten rid of a lot of the annoying abilities, increased cast times, and reduced damages, and hopefully made things more clear. We already know with the big boulders and Ruby Lightpool and stuff, there's a more clear path of where that's going to happen. So they've tried to make things a little bit more easy and remove some of the pain points from some of these dungeons that have occurred in the past. We'll keep looking towards what happens in 12.1. I'll keep you up to date on any other changes that come before this thing actually drops. But for today, that is all in terms of news.